Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Woohoo! 2025. It is the year for you to become healthy. Let's just stop making excuses. We were just having this conversation. It's enough already. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Dr. Erica Peabody, and I'm here with my girl. Dude,
Wait,
this
which
is so
way?
weird.
Oh, that way. Yeah, there we go. That way. Yes, I'm Dr. Paula Ruffin, and we are here. We have been here. We're celebrating over a year of this Chiropractic is Sexy podcast. We will be getting together next week to go over our game plan for the year. And I think as we go forward, I think the last time I had said that the average podcast lasts 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Eric and I have had weeks where she's had stuff, I've had stuff, whether it was sickness or emotional or life or whatever, and we still showed up. So motivation is not your friend. Motivation will not carry you through. And the only thing is discipline. Because I can tell you there were many times over the last year where we were not motivated to be here, but we made a commitment and we exercised our discipline. And that is how we are now here celebrating over a year.
That's right.
It's amazing.
It's so funny because they'll just be like, I'm just not motivated. I'm like, join the club. Join the club. We're all human. Motivation is an all-time low. And especially, as the winter rolls around, like I got up this morning I don't get to patients until 10, but I woke up, it's been like there's a rip roaring couple days into the new year. And it was 7:30. I'm like, it's still dark out. I really, really want to get up. I don't think so, but I'm getting up because I'm disciplined to get up and get going. And what other choices are there for one? And why would I choose anything else for two? And I was just talking, my last patient, man, she got an earful. She really did. It included.
Give it to us. You're sassy today. Give it to us.
It included F-bombs and all of this stuff. But here's the thing. She's 73 years old. For 5 years, it was probably a couple of years ago, she lost her husband. But for 5 years, she tended to him like hand and foot because he was ailing and failing. His health was failing. And so she just put herself on the back burner for so long. And she's, I think, 73, but she's more like, she's like 10, like aged a decade on top of that. And she was telling me this today. She was like, so I get up out of bed and I'm like shuffling for the first hour. I'm like, then stop your body, stop yourself, and don't accept this shuffling. Like you haven't taken a deep breath in a decade. You only take 2 or 3 or 5 deep breaths only when you're on my table. And every time she takes a deep breath with me, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm lightheaded. I'm like, that's called oxygen. And so, but I said, here's the thing. And I gave her the what for because I love her so much. And she's going to end up either getting on board with her mindset, staying under chiropractic care, getting back with her physical therapist, and doing all these things for herself, or she is not going to be able to live independently. And I said, I know this is a tough conversation. And my office manager was listening to all of it. And she's like, and I said, I gave her like, I'm dropping F-bombs and all the things like from a professional perspective, but she wakes up and her whole attitude towards her body is, why isn't it blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, you can't yell anger at your body and get it to heal or move. I'm like, you can't wake up and just tell it to F off and stupid body and go anywhere with that. Nowhere. And so my office manager, she's like, she's got her mind. All she needs is the mindset. And actually after the 15, whatever it was, 20-minute rigmarole that I just took her through, she was like, thank you, because nobody talks to me this way. I'm like, you are going to lose your independent living. You are going to lose the ability to be independent. And that right there, and your little doggy, she rescued a little black Pomeranian. She calls him, his name's Ricky. She calls him Tricky Ricky because he's learning new tricks every week. She loves him so much. She lost her dog back in the fall, and it was like 3.5 weeks without a dog. And she's just like, she needs it. She lives on her own.
Hard. It's so hard.
Yeah. And so anyway, little Tricky Ricky is keeping her on her toes. She's like, you won't believe what Tricky Ricky did this morning. It's so cute. But I'm like, listen, you need to be able to live independently. And even at my age, and I'm in my upper 4th decade of life, Dr. Paula, like, we are making our daily decisions to be dancing on the dance floor, not in a wheelchair. And it's all filtered through that. So if we got up and I was like, oh, this blah, blah, blah with my whatever, it's not going to do me any good. So sorry if I'm totally on my soapbox today and having a blast doing it. And when that patient turns to me and says, nobody else talks to me like this, that's why I'm talking to you like this.
And that is our job, isn't it?
It is.
It's also, they go to their primary care physicians who don't have time to have these conversations with them. To no fault of their own. That's just the system that's in. And when people come to us with these issues, and I'm glad you brought up mindset, because I'm talking mindset all day long, as I'm sure you are. I have a patient this morning that I've had the mindset talk with, and I actually said to her, based on, I'll tell you what happened when she walked in the office, but I told her, I said, I think that needs to be a topic for the next podcast. We have to talk about mindset and self-talk and negative self-talk and positive self-talk and what that's actually doing. And she walked into the office today, and I've had these conversations with her, and she's had traumas. She's had a friend of hers just died a few weeks ago. Her sister passed away a 1.5 years ago. And we all have, and I don't want to diminish each and every person's traumas and life experiences, because it is, we all go through something. It's not the thing. It's how we stand up and respond to the thing. And so she walked into the office, and I said, Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, welcome in. And I said, how's everything today? And she's like, oh, it's okay. It's not bad. And I'm like, and I just kind of held it for a minute. And then we went to the table, and she goes, I'm really working on the mindset thing that you talked about. And I go, are ya? Because let me just remind you of what you said to me when you walked in the room. Working on mindset is you walk in, and when somebody asks you how you're doing, your response has to
matters.
Balance.
It matters.
Yes. Because then she's like, I'm fine. How are you? I go, I am amazing. And she was like, oh, and people laugh. They literally will chuckle, because they're not used to people responding that way. And I'm not lying. These aren't lies.
Right.
This is the way I choose to view the world. And would I have liked to have slept in a little longer today? Yes. Do I wish I was on vacation? Yes. Do I want to be working? No, we all want to be on perpetual vacation, but I'm here. So if patients are going to walk in, am I going to go, hey, how's it going? No.
No, it was funny. This one patient was in this morning, and she's been with me. She's been weekly for, I don't know, 10 years or more now. And her first initial list of medications she was on, because it was there was psychopharmaceuticals, painkillers, all this stuff. And so she actually came from her therapist's office. Her therapist referred her to chiropractic. And anyway, she's been with me for a long time, and she does really well. She's doing really, really well. And she came in this morning, and she's like, well, it looks like we're not going to have a mild winter this year. I'm like, you're not getting me on board with your commiserate. You can't commiserate with me. I'm not doing, no. I'm like, I freaking love the snow. What I don't like is snow and then rain on it. That's what I don't like. Give us a long, snowy, winter that
Yeah.
stays because
you
the
on that.
mess that it makes when it's not. So I'm like, sorry, your commiserating doesn't work here. So I love the winter.
I was on the phone the other day with like, it was like some IT. I had to make a call for tech support somewhere. And the guy, while he's looking stuff up, he goes, well, I hope this bird flu thing doesn't turn out to be. I'm like, I go, first of all, in my head, I'm thinking, who's even talking
Said,
about
are
bird?
you contagious through the phone?
And I go,
I hope we're not going to catch it through the phone. What are you talking about?
I go, bro, there are far too many other things to be concerning yourself with than some crazy made up virus that is, they're trying to like make you afraid of. So, and he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I'm like, yes, of course I'm right. Well, this bird flu thing doesn't. No, we're not. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
We're not
doing that.
Either.
We're not.
I had this patient. He sent me a direct message a few weeks ago, and he's like, I got off the phone with, I think it was like AT&T or Consumers Energy or something, and they told him, they're like, make sure to drink your water and stay really hydrated. And he's like, I'm sure you would want to know this. When I got off with the utility company, they're like, make sure you stay super hydrated and drink your water.
That's awesome. I love that.
I hope everybody says that.
No kidding.
Get off with Verizon. Thank you for calling Verizon Wireless. Are you hydrated today?
I think I'm going to start doing that when people call. Oh my gosh.
Your husband chiropractic.
Bravo, large corporation. That's awesome.
I know. I loved it. I loved it. I screenshot the message. I'll have to post it sometime because it was so funny. He's like, you're going to want to know this.
Well, Anne, how cool is it that you were the first person he told
I know.
About, right?
I know. There's like a dehydration angel on one shoulder and a hydration angel on the other shoulder. They're like, you're constantly in my ear when you're not around talking about staying hydrated. Good. If I go to my death with a hydration legacy, happy.
Yeah.
Happy to be that person.
I had a patient tell me one time, and I threatened to do this. I think I'm going to follow through. I threatened to do this years ago and I didn't. But it was hilarious. I said nothing about this and she took it upon herself because she was trying to change some eating habits and improve her health. And she printed off pictures of me and she put them on the cupboard. She put them on the refrigerator. She put them on the water dispenser. And she goes, and now every time I try to go in and grab some potato chips, there you are staring at me.
No, I totally get it. I mean, sometimes I'll change, like my screensaver is my boy right now, but sometimes I'll change mine. Like if I'm feeling a little bit like fluffy or a little bit inflamed, or I know I've made like a series of bad food choices, like we're constantly picking this thing up. Like it'd be awesome to just like, I'll put like tennis shoes walking or something, or like if I wanted to get in the sauna more or whatever, like I'll sometimes just change this to reflect my goals, or whatever, just so that it's constantly on my mind. So I love that. I freaking love that. You're like, and I printed off pictures off your website and you're now hanging all over in my house. I mean, weird, but glad it's helping.
And the funny thing was she started the comment with something like, well, if you'd stop staring at me every time I went to my refrigerator. And I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? And then she told me she did that. I was like, that's gold. I love that.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. I was, I mean, I posted already, but we always do a cold plunge and we jump in a snow-covered river, right? Yeah. And the snow's coming down yesterday. And it's so funny because every year my sister-in-laws and I come up against this like wall, kind of this agreement that we've made with ourselves and each other that this is going to be our way. And my one niece is a rock star. She is always the one that's like, yep, I'm in, I'm out. She's 13 this year. And anyway, so my one sister-in-law goes in, she's like, I don't really want to wash my hair today, so I'm just going to go in up to my neck. And then my other sister-in-law, she's standing on the sideline, on the side of the riverbank. And she's like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it this year. And it's cold and snow's coming down. Those rivers like snow, like 2 inches of snow on the riverbank. And I start to get in with that too. And it's like this internal dialogue with myself. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in, but that one spot was a little tricky. So I only went up to my mid calves, and then we moved locations to an area that's more sand when we walk in, and then it's slowly, because the river was running fast. And if we went in the first spot, I mean, if you get caught in it, you're going around the riverbank, around the river bend before you're able to get out. So when we switched the spot, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back in. My feet already warmed up. I'm gonna go back in. And I went up to my waist and I was like, that might be enough. So I got back out. My other sister-in-law went in, and she goes in and she just is like, I can't do this year. And so she just goes in and does it. And I'm like, I think I'm good. And my mom and I are staying out there. I'm like, nope, I can't have taken this part way. And it's like that discipline thing. And it was like, I could leave here and be just fine and get out of the water and go in and get ready and get back on the road and get back home. Or I've done harder things than that. And this hard thing makes everything else a little bit easier. And it was like, I have the discipline to do this and start it this way so that everything else is just a little bit easier. I sent it to my office manager, the video, and she's like, oh my God, I could never do that. It looks like torturous. And I started to write her back, but I'm like, but then it makes like getting up on a hard good morning, it makes that a little bit like I dunked myself in it's below 40-degree water for sure. It's below a normal like cold plunge for sure. And it was like, it's so strengthening, and I'm not going to die from it. So just do the hard thing.
Right.
And
you were halfway there.
And I was halfway there, and I could have stopped, but I was like, I needed everybody to leave. My mom and I stood there. I'm like, Mom, I have to go back in. And she knows me so, so well. And I was like, that's why I just walked right in and just did it. And if you guys want to catch it on it's on my Facebook and Instagram. And it's like, it increases my faith in myself, and it increases my ability to share with others, do hard things, get disciplined, do the hard work. And the other part about it is there's no shortcut to the other side. There's no shortcut for me to get through that process, but there's no shortcut in my Thursday. Like if there was a shortcut, that would be the way. And so it's so critical to just do what it takes to have an exceptional life, just an exceptional life.
Yeah. And you don't go halfway to only go halfway.
I know.
Just don't.
Oh my God. I don't like, I was like, I'm not a half-ass person. I go in a full-ass person.
Well, and I get it though. It takes some time to really talk yourself into it, because it's so easy to talk yourself out of it. And I think this is a critical piece when we talk about discipline versus motivation. No one is motivated to get into 40-degree water. No one. No. There's zero motivation for that, but there is discipline for that.
And what would you think the people that are at the gym? I'm curious, and I don't know if there's research out there, like how many are motivated to be there as compared to how many people are disciplined to be there. I am curious about that. I don't know how we would find that out, but if you look around, it's not like everybody looks motivated, because you have to act as if. And that's such a great way. Like that's what I was kind of talking with my patient about. You have to act as if in order to get your body to be that. And so if we can just act as if, which is like, no. Yeah. I mean, do I want to go to the gym at 6 o'clock today? No. But what am I going to do? Drive my behind to the gym at 6 o'clock today.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. You will see me there. That's it. That's it.
It's I told the story of, I guess it was just last September, when I took my daughter to Sedona, and it was an incredible trip. And I remember it's a very similar story of fear and talking yourself out of things, and then what you have to do to talk yourself into it. I mean, talking yourself out of something takes a minute, but it can take a really long time to talk yourself into things. And we were climbing up Chimney Rock. I think it's Chimney Rock.
I think it's Chimney Rock too.
Is it Chimney Rock? Yeah.
I think so. That's one there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I want to say it's like, is it 4,000 feet? Like it's significant. And we got up, and a lot of it is bouldering. So you're climbing and bouldering, and we got to this ledge. And then on the ledge, then there was this, what looked like a sheer, it wasn't sheer straight up, but it was pretty steep, and there was just a crack, and you had to climb up this. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. And so my daughter was like, okay, I'm going. And she went, and I was behind her, and I got up. I took like 4, because you're crawling up it because it's so steep. And I took like 4 steps, and I looked back behind me. That was the mistake. I looked back behind me, and I was already like up probably 10, 12 feet, which doesn't seem like a lot, but then
it is what it's rock.
And then it's like 1,200 feet below it. And I'm like, oh my God. And I froze for a second, and I crawled back down, and I sat on that ledge, and she continued on, and she continued to the top, it's the most energetic spot in, it's the highest level vortex energy in Sedona. And so she continued on, and she texted me a picture of the spire. She had made it to the spire up there, and it was so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm sitting, and I'm on this ledge, and I'm like, I'm 1,200 feet up. I'm like, I was like, this is good. Like, I'm proud of myself that I did this. And I sat there proud of myself that I made it 1,200 feet. And so then this old man comes along, and because then everybody was sort of collecting on the ledge, and they're like, I'm not going up there. I'm not, like, and all of us were like, we couldn't figure out how to get down. So this old guy, Warner, this old German guy, one of the women, she looks over, she goes, here comes an old guy. Let's see what he does. And he's just like, do. He like Billy goated his way up there. No water bottle, like, just, he's like, oh, this is my morning walk. I do this every morning. I'm like, what? So he says, what's everybody doing here on this ledge? And somebody said, we don't want to go up. We can't figure out how to get down. And he goes, why don't you figure out how to get up first before you worry about getting down? He was like this sage,
right? Yeah.
Like, I don't even know that he actually exists in real life. I think he was an apparition. So he goes, come on. And he wrangled everybody, and he gets on the rock, and he's walking, and we're all crawling, and we get to the top and that was probably a 30-foot thing. But then you got to a place where you were like, oh, it was flat land again. It was just that one. So not being able to see what was up there was also like, that's another reason we talk ourselves out. I don't know what's on the other side. Well, so we get up there, and I was like, oh my God, Warner, oh my God. And he's like, don't celebrate yet. We've got more to go. So he took us all the way up to the spire. And then he says, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe, because I'm sitting on that ledge saying to myself, my 25-year-old self would have done this all day long, but it's okay. I'm 57. I mean, this is pretty good for 57. And then finally I was like, F this. My kid made it up there. She's up there without me. I need to be with her. Having these huge main character things, like being able to do epic shit with your kid, that's the be all end all. So I finally got up there, and then Warner says, so are you ready for an adventure? And I was like, more than that? And he goes, come on, let's go down the front side. So he takes us down the front side of it, that was like a sheer cliff. And he goes, everyone has a red butt by the time they get down, because you're scooting the whole time. Anyway, long story short, I sat on that ledge for about 45 minutes thinking I was fine. I wasn't going to do it. And then it was the doubt. It was like, why aren't you doing it? It was that the two things on the shoulder. You're fine. You don't need to go any further. Why the heck not? You can do this. You're capable. No, this is good enough. This is really good. Like, so getting out of our own heads is critical for progress. And I reflect on that so often. I'm like, yeah, we're built for hard. We're built for that. And we don't challenge ourselves in a way that gives us that feedback to say we can do far more in this life than we give ourselves credit for.
For sure. I had this, we went out on New Year's Eve with my family and we just have a blast. Like we take over this place and it's my 3 brothers and 2 wives and my mom, my stepdad, my brother got us all like matching Air Jordans. We're just like raging around the new year. And we've done this for, I think that was our 5th year. So, but anyway, there was this group of guys when we were finishing up the night, the bar was getting ready to close and we'd been on the dance floor the whole time. And I was like they were like challenging me or whatever. And then they stopped me. There was like these 5, they were 21 and 23. There was 5 of them and they just happened on this bar. And anyway, and they said, they're like, how old are you? Anyway, I'm going to take a guess. They're like 31, 2. And I'm like, thank you very much. And no, I'm old enough to be your mother, which I didn't think that would ever come out of my mouth, right? I'm not that old. But I told them, I said, here's my advice to you guys. Now that we've had just fun and I was doing arm balances out on dance floor, which I think is so cool, right? And it's like yoga moves, whatever. It's easy. It's not easy, but it's part of my thing. And so I said, here's the thing. This is what I said, full send your life. When there's a dance floor, get on it. When there's an opportunity, take it. Get off your phones. That generation in particular is all about like doing everything virtually. One of my patients is like, there's more deer overloading our area because people are hunting virtually rather than getting out in the elements and actually hunting. But it's all that stuff. And I said, full send your life. We get one lifetime. And so it like applies to the cold plunge and then meeting with these basically, kids for the most part. And it was like full send. Have a blast. Take care of your body so you can get out there and maximize all of it. Every time, every opportunity you have, you are on the dance floor. You are doing the hike. You are climbing the mountain. Just all that stuff, like full send. That's why we are here. Don't half anything. So yeah. I love that. I know that guy has stuck in your mind for
Varner. Yeah. Oh yeah. And he even said, he goes, this shit is all in your head. It's like, there's nothing here. It's all in your head. I was like, and I have like so much video of him. I feel like I need to just chop that up. And, it was, and also as I sat there, I was thinking, I just need someone to come and guide me. Like I was wishing for this. Like, what if somebody was here to guide me? And then he just shows up there with all this wisdom. And it was really it was an amazing experience that was like the universe put all the pieces together at the right time. So it was pretty cool.
Well, so that applies to exactly what we're doing. I had a new patient in this morning and she has been in a lot of pain for 4 years since her first C-section. Then she had to have a second and really, really premature babies and just this whole thing. She had infertility or fertility surgeries ahead of time. Just she's been through a lot. Her pelvis has been through a lot. Her spine has been through a lot. And it's like she's run the gamut. Her husband, I think, actually bought a gift certificate for her first visit for Christmas. She's never been to a chiropractor before, but it's like when you need a guide back to your health, like Paula was looking for a guide to the top of the mountain. People unfortunately don't choose chiropractic first. Like they run the gamut and then they say, okay, thank you for giving me medication. I'm not interested. Okay. Thank you for the shot. I'm not interested. Okay. I'm also not interested in that. And then they find chiropractic and they realize that it's been chiropractic that they wanted all along. They just had no idea what they were looking for is inside a chiropractic office. So let us be is it Werner?
It's Warner, but yeah, Varner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Werner. Let us be help you get to the top of whatever your health goals are, or just getting yourself back moving again, or whatever it is. It's like, let us help you this year, or continue to help you because you've been under care with us. It was funny because I mean, our office is busy, and the new patient, there's certain times that they're seen, and I forgot to say, like, let's not do a new patient on the first day back, because there's a lot of people that want to be seen today. And so that was in the back of my head. And then I'm like, I love that particular woman was here sharing her story, believing in chiropractic, looking at our office, at our website, letting that be a reflection of what she's going to get into. And then such an honor that new patients show up at all, but such an honor that she's like, here,
yeah,
please take my hand and please help me figure out what this is. I've done all the things. She's been through all of it, all the testing, all the imaging, through PT, through, they offered her shots. She was on gabapentin. She's like, I got 2 kids. I can't be on gabapentin. She's like, that doesn't work for having a 1-year-old and a toddler. Like, no, it doesn't. What's a different answer? And let us help guide you.
Yeah, it doesn't work for anything. I don't care if you don't have toddlers. It doesn't work for you to be present in your life. And I know, Dr. Erica, you and I are both very, very passionate about helping chiropractic and chiropractors to be the first line of therapy for people. Right. We want to position ourselves so that we have most people, like this woman and like other patients that I've had and that you've had, to, instead of going through the gamut, is that we become the portal. They come to us first, because we will explore all of the options to improve and optimize their health. And then we know exactly when to send them to a specialist, a different kind of specialist, and even specialists in a holistic sphere. So we know, what does the body need? Let's take this person, and then let's get them all of the holistic ways that are going to be able to enhance and optimize their health. And then if things still aren't quite working, now, okay, well, maybe we go get some blood work. Maybe you go get an MRI. Maybe. So we're going to be able to be this person that we're like the hub, and you come here, we're the hub, and then we channel out from there. But that's really the passion, is really getting people to, it breaks my heart when people are like, I've been looking for answers for 10 years and I can't believe I never came to the chiropractor, or 20 years or whatever, 5 years, it doesn't matter. The fact that anyone is struggling in pain and struggling with their health and they can't get answers. And much of this is because of the model that we live in with health and wellness, or sick care, I should say, and sickness, because we're not allowed to say certain things. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning who did a TED Talk, and he responded to me today, and he said, hey, do you know how long it took you to get your TED Talk up on the TEDx website? And I said, well, I was a little unique because they deemed my talk medical misinformation, because I was talking about hyperactivity in kids and feeding your kids healthy, and how my mom figured out that instead of giving her kid medication, that stopping processed foods back in the 70s actually was a better option. And so they flagged my video as medical misinformation, and it took me months. I was very deliberate. I was like, anything I said was backed by some kind of PubMed something. And so I sent them all the things, and they finally put they could have said, no, we're not publishing it at all. But they published my TED Talk on the TEDx site. And if you go to it, there's a huge disclaimer saying that I'm speaking medical misinformation when all I'm doing is talking about health and wellness. So we have a culture that wants to suppress anything that talks about natural ways to keep your body healthy. And the body is designed to heal itself. Let's just stop trying to take these outside things and thinking that that is somehow going to improve our health, because it just turns us into zombies.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about this all the time too. Like an egg and a sperm, that's itty bitty microscopic thing came together and made this.
Yeah.
How? We have no idea how. But we do have the innate intelligence inside and the innate wisdom put all of this together. And once it put it together, it didn't like jump ship. It's still there. It's actually doing all of this stuff for us. Like it's still there and it's still taking care. And it makes us a self-healing, self-regulating organism. We just have to be doing the right things. I have this one woman that's been in, and it's like she talks about her hips and this and that and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay. She's like, well, it got kind of like really intensified over the. I'm like, how much sugar, how much crap did you eat over the holidays? How much holidaying did you do? How much junk have you had? How much, have you had enough water? And she's also doing a pretty intense medication right now that's going to be affecting so much about the hips, like in particular. And I won't talk too many details about it, but it's like, yep. And clean up your world and undo what's going on. And let's re-regulate and let's get back on board. And glad you're here today. And like all the rest of the things matter as well. A lot. It'll be really interesting. What do we have? Like 3-ish weeks till the new administration. And not that things are going to change overnight, but it'll be really interesting because this has really been the first time health has been part of our political scene. Not that it hasn't, but it hasn't been a part of like in the deciding, in the energy of the decision and like all of that for our country. And it'll be really interesting. And I don't want to get political on here at all, but it's so awesome and timely that who knows what's going to go on, how far they'll be able to go, what they'll be able to put in place and all of that. But the fact that it's in the political arena at a level where we all know health is there really at the table, not discreetly at the table in these other ways, those two, but just at the table. It's at the forefront now, as it should be and should have been all along. And so I'm anticipating not the world to change, but I'm anticipating some really some effects that'll hopefully not only stand the time, endure moving forward, but also make a I don't want to say significant, a difference in our health world.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting political at all to talk about how health has become political.
Yeah.
Like if we just talk about what the heck is going on there, why is making America healthy again? Why is that being a politicized campaign, if you will? We've been trying to make America healthy again for the last 25 to 30 years, however long our practices have been. I've been in health and wellness since I was an undergraduate in college in the early 80s. This is like, I grew up with a healthy lifestyle. I mean, so making America healthy again and improving human lives is not political. And there is so much, if you look at the voices out there who are against who are making it political, they're the most unhealthy beings on the planet. So this becomes another excuse. And so people who don't step into improving their lives, they will always make excuses. And you can hear it around you. Eric and I are very we're very savvy in listening to people and how they talk about themselves and to themselves and the excuses that they make. And so this is one of those things, is it's like, oh, if I politicize, if I jump on this political bandwagon about getting healthy, I don't have to get healthy. I can still go eat my garbage. And when we look at what has been, and again, I go back to my mom and making us read food labels. They've been putting this junk in our food forever with no regulations, putting drug ads on TV, drug ads and hospital ads. You guys, that's not health and wellness. That's not health at all. And yet if you listen to something long enough, it goes into your subconscious. And so now what happens is you get that hangnail and you go into your doctor and you go, hey, I heard there's a shot for this. Oh, I heard there's a medication for this. I heard there's a this for that. Instead of just waiting for your body to heal itself. So we have to get out of this health is a political mindset. And if you're somebody who has made your health or you getting healthy a political issue for yourself, then I feel badly for you, because you're going to then go against anything that is going to help you get well. So you just need to stop the excuses.
Well, we're kind of getting to the end of this, but man, do we have a launch pad into the new year, right? But I was also, as you were talking about that, even to strip that all the way down, make America healthy. Why is the again there? Like,
it's never been,
like what happened to America?
Right.
Like, why? Oh, like we were healthy and then we weren't, and then now we're healthy again. Like, I don't want to get healthy again. Like, there's something really big by just having that word in there of again, like what happened. And if we're designed to be self-healing, self-regulating, and we're moving ourselves forward by eating well, moving well, thinking well, drinking our water, getting our rest, and getting adjusted, taking care of our spine and nervous system, health does come from that. But like, everybody needs to be doing all those things. And it's the eating well and the moving well and the, getting the water, prioritizing sleep. It's like, that should have been there all along. And we shouldn't have all the crap out there. And, we'll see what they can do to make those changes. But it's the again at the end of that phrase that's like, what the F happened here? Like, what happened? And let us help you, because there are people that have fallen off what their goals have been, and then they want to get back to it. But instead of moving back, like, let's move forward into health instead of like, we're never going back. That woman this morning, she's like, I just wish I was younger. I'm like, stupid idea. Like, exactly. But like, it's not even possible. Like, it's not possible. So that's not even an option and should be completely taken off the table. But let's not move back. Like, let's make health and a forward progress. And maybe even not what's one thing you can do today. Like, what are 5 things you can begin? One thing. What's one thing that could change your world if you start today? No. Give me 5 and get after it.
Ruffin, give me 5.
Yeah, give me 5 things and get after it. There are no more excuses. So anyway, we got to wrap up here.
Okay. Yeah, that was great. So we'll be coming to you with more mindset and some other really amazing chiropractic is sexy topics. We appreciate you guys being here. If you're on the replay, please let us know. If you are here live, thanks for being here. And please don't forget to subscribe and share. And you guys, we'll see you next week, because we are back for 2025. And this is Chiropractic is Sexy. See you soon.
Bye.